Hi everyone. This morning or this afternoon or whenever you're listening to this, we're going to listen to a story about Paul, who was a man who was a Jew but then became a Christian. And along with these stories, I hope you guys have found the Deep Blue Adventure app that has the videos on it, and also I think has some games and stuff that you can play. So our story is about Paul changes. It is in Acts chapter 9, verses 1 through 19. Paul and his friends were on their way to a city called Damascus. Paul had heard that there were many followers in Damascus, and when they say followers, they mean followers of Jesus. Paul was going to arrest Jesus' followers and bring them back to Jerusalem. Suddenly, a bright light from heaven flashed around Paul. I'm sure he was very surprised. Paul fell to the ground and he covered his eyes. It was so bright. Paul, Paul, said a voice from the light. Why are you being unkind to my followers? The voice was Jesus. Get up, Paul, and go into the city, said Jesus. Someone will come and help you. When Paul stood up, he couldn't see. He couldn't see anything. He had to be quite upset and felt very vulnerable or lost, because you know, if you've ever shut your eyes, you can't see where you're going. And Paul's friends had to lead Paul into the city. A man named Ananias lived in the city. He was a follower of Jesus. One day, Ananias heard the voice of Jesus. Find the man named Paul, said Jesus. But Paul is unkind to followers of Jesus. He was kind of scared. He didn't want to go after Paul because he didn't know what the man was going to do to him. He was afraid. I have chosen Paul to tell others about me, said Jesus. You must go to him. So even though he was afraid, Ananias went to find Paul. Paul was just sitting in a house because he still couldn't see, so he really couldn't go anywhere. Paul, said Ananias, Jesus sent me to help you. Then Ananias touched Paul's face. Immediately, Paul could see again. Paul was baptized and became a follower of Jesus. Paul began to tell everyone he met about Jesus. Paul was changed. Jesus' love changes us. How do you think Paul felt when he was changed by Jesus? And have you guys seen people that maybe friends at school or classmates or somebody that weren't very nice and changed their ways and became nice and was a lot more fun to hang out with? People can change. Just because we all make mistakes doesn't mean that we can't turn back around and do God's will. God loves you, and I hope you guys have a great week. Let's say a prayer before we're done. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not in temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever and ever. Amen.